Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this July the 2nd. We're double teaming here right now. How we like this? Dave Gabbard.
I feel like we're a doo-wop group or something.
Well, do you have a favorite song you'd like to sing right now? No, forget it.
Friends in Low Places, probably.
You do know that one. That's hey, we got some friends in high places. Yeah. He's here today.
And it's July.
It is July the 2nd. Hope everybody has a safe 4th of July holiday weekend. We're going to talk a little bit at the end of the show about safe boating on this weekend, and might slip in a little bit about some other things. TWRA is going on. One of our great sponsors. That is Dave Gabbard's voice. You recognize him. The other part of Daryl and Daryl. That wasn't him. The other part of Daryl and Daryl, Gene Smith, is not with us this morning. He's got a prior commitment. So Guy Trebo is sitting in whenever we need him. We kind of point in and tap on his head over there, but hey, we got a guest on right now that came a long way, a big distance. He came from one room into another room here, but he's been part of the Intercom family since 2008. I looked it up.
That's right.
2008, University of Alabama graduate. That's right.
And you do good to get the boss up this early in the morning.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. That's true, but you ought to see what he looks like. Dan Barron is with us this morning, and we appreciate Dan. He is the Vice President Market Manager for Intercom Radio here at our sister stations, and we have six
radio stations.
Okay, that's right. We have 6 radio stations, and, we're right here at Mount Moriah and Willa, White Station, great facility, long way from where we started. When I was started 15 years ago in July.
We've come a long way,
Larry. We've come a long way, that's for sure. And so Dan is on. You're saying, why do you have Dan Barron on? What's he going to do? Talk about all these great radio stations that we have. But we do. If you want to advertise in them, I'm sure Dan will take that. But Dan had a chance recently to head north, to go to Canada.
That's right.
Had not done it before, right?
No, well, not to this part of Canada.
I know, but not to this part of Canada.
That's correct.
So who else to better fit him and get him ready is Ron Wong.
That's right.
He's wondering where his equipment is.
Well, he's my sponsor now.
He is my sponsor. Right. There you go, Ron. You don't need to lose. Has been traveling everywhere, but Ron fixed him up. He got you fixed up with a rod and a reel.
That's right.
And so tell our listeners, what part of Canada did you fish in?
Larry, I was in eastern Ontario, just outside of a little town called Kenora, Canada. It's 3 hours east of Winnipeg.
3 hours east of Winnipeg, so there's lots of lakes up there.
Water everywhere. I mean everywhere.
So did you fly into Winnipeg?
Connected through Minneapolis, flew into Winnipeg, got in the car, and drove to Kenora.
And now, how did you pick out Kenora? This is a group. You got some guys with you. I mean,
one of my best friends from high school, who's a Memphian, has been going to this particular lodge for 20 years.
Really?
And I mean, this place is first class.
Okay.
19 private lakes. Full of smallmouth bass, big, strong smallmouth bass, walleye, pike. It's beautiful.
So how many days were you there?
You got to love to fish to do this trip. You got to love 6 days of fishing.
6 days of fishing.
6 days of fishing. And, we got on the lake about 9 o'clock, and then it doesn't get dark till 10 o'clock at night.
Well, you didn't stay till
Well, we'd come back in for cocktail and happy hour at 6 o'clock, have dinner.
And
then go back out and fish till about 10 o'clock. So it was a long day of fishing, a lot of fishing. You got to love to fish.
So what was the difference between the first day and the 6th day?
We had all kinds of conditions. It was, big bass every day, but I'm not kidding. In a day, we would have 3 seasons in a day. It'd be sunny and spring-like. Then a front would come through. It'd be cold and rainy, and the fishing would get really good then. And then
cold and rainy,
and then sleet. And then it get warm again.
Sleet.
We had sleet in June in Canada. And we caught a lot of fish.
How many times he said we caught a lot of fish? That's 5 times at least already. We hadn't been on 3 minutes.
And like you said, a lot of people don't understand, when you go north like that, you might want your equipment. One piece of equipment that you do need is a really good rain suit.
Yes, yes.
I had one I could have loaned you. If you
I know. I got hooked up with the rain gear, and essential equipment is the rain gear.
It is essential equipment because, and again, we're talking to Dan Barron about fishing, and a lot of our listeners out there have talked about wanting to go on a trip like this. I myself have never been there before. You've been up in that area, haven't you? Yeah,
I've been more Saskatchewan over in that area.
Saskatchewan. All right. Today, spell that, would you please? That's all right.
Yeah,
Forget
okay.
it. Forget it. We can do Winnipeg and everything like that, but the connections. And you're really, this place, is it all alone out there, or do you see anything? You're just there.
You're just there. It's in the middle of nowhere, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The sunrise is beautiful. The sunsets are beautiful. Incredible terrain. They, like I said, 19 private lakes. So we would get on a boat and we would fish one lake, and then we'd what they call portage. I'd never heard of portage before.
Oh,
But
yeah,
you'd go to an island and then portage across this island. That could be a half mile or maybe a mile, and then get in another boat. And again,
How do you think the pioneers got to these places? They did the name of portage. That's where it came from. Lewis and Clark were the originators of portage.
I thought that was a French word.
That's a French word.
Well, they did a lot of portage up there.
No, they ate a lot of dogs.
So were you speaking French? Get out of there. Were you speaking French? You hear any speak?
I was speaking fish.
Oh, yes.
I was speaking fish.
Well, tell us about the catches now. You said big bass. What's the biggest one you caught?
7 pounds. 7 pound smallmouth bass was the biggest bass.
A 7 smallmouth.
Smallmouth.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
They've caught a 9 pound there. They've caught, but we count one of the days we counted the fish, and it's tough to keep up. We caught 85 fish one day.
85
fish one day, but we never caught less than 50.
Is that not? Now I've been on Lake Guerrero in Mexico.
Okay.
Unbelievable, but there was one word that kept coming out. It was HOT. It was hot, hot, hot.
Yeah.
But the fishing was hot.
Right.
But you need to prepare for this. I don't know, Dan, how you get ready for a trip like this, because, the PGA guys are on for 4 days. They practice and do 6 days of fishing. I'm surprised you're here today.
Well, when I met my buddy, I said, Phil, what are we going to talk about for 6 days? And I don't know if I can fish for 6 days. I tell you, I never got tired of it because the fishing's so great. And we would catch them on Cincos.
Yeah.
We caught them on inline spinners.
Yeah.
We caught them on topwater. So the variety was great. And the great time about this particular time of the year, the fish were on the beds up there.
Oh.
So and the water was clear as can be. So you find the beds, and you put these Cincos on those beds, and they absolutely can't resist it. They can't resist it. They're angry. And I don't know that they're hungry as much as they're just angry.
They're
mean.
defending the nest and everything like
are.
that. And
They
so
are.
did you pick this time because your buddy, is this when he normally goes?
He goes this time of year every year.
Okay.
And then he goes back in September. And he says they're not on the bed in September. So it's
Okay.
a different kind of fishing. But I want to go when they're on the bed. It's like shooting. It's like target practice when they're on the beds.
I got to ask one question.
All right.
People that never experienced Canada. How was the bugs?
The bugs, at times they were bad.
I wasn't going to get into that because bug spray is a vital part,
the black flies. But when the wind would come through and it would cool down, and we were welcoming the rain when the rain came through, to get the bugs away.
And they take care of you up there, don't they?
They take care of
I mean,
you.
when you arrive, it's no Arca Butler. I mean, you're not looking for nothing against you folks, but this is a place that you go to, and it's a trip of maybe a lifetime for a lot of folks. I've got some friends that go up there every other year, similar to your area right there, and at the same time. But this is
it's a nice. Now it's not the Ritz-Carlton, but it's nice.
It's
the
just
name
the
of
Ritz.
This place is Hawk Lake Lodge in Kenora, Canada.
Okay.
And at individual cabins, we had a 2-bedroom cabin with little kitchenette and beautiful view of one of the lakes. And the meals were fantastic. The boats were top notch. There were some celebrities there too.
Celebrities.
Babe Winkleman was there at the same time.
Babe Winkleman was there.
Babe. Yeah,
Really?
filming a show.
Yeah.
Babe was there.
And he had the
And
same kind of cabin you did?
He did.
Really?
He did. And Al Linder was there the week after we were there.
Those are great names, and of course, those people have been on this show over the 15 years, particularly Al. Mm-hmm. You say Al Linderman, you say Babe Winkleman. I mean, that's top notch. So it's easy to get there then.
Relative, you get to Winnipeg, and then that's a long drive across Canada.
About 3 hours.
3 hours, 3-hour drive.
Well, I know when I've went on dove hunted in Mexico, and we flew into Harlingen, Texas, down in that area. It was a great flight, but it was a 3-hour van ride to get to Abasola, Tamaulipas, Mexico, which is now, I think, a fortress down there that you can't get to there anymore like that. We're talking to Dan Barron again about this trip because I know we're going to post all this. Guy, we're going to put this place where Dan is been for you folks out there that are interested and want to do this, and I know a lot of people would like to do this, particularly this time of the year when you can really catch them. And when you talk about it, they have are you on your own? They have a guide with you.
Well, you can get a guide. My friend has been there.
Well, he's been there so many times.
He's been there so many times. But interesting, the fishing season is short there. It's mid-May through the end of September because the ice doesn't move out to the beginning part of May. The lakes freeze over. Then the ice moves out, and then those fish are really dumb and hungry. And then
that's the kind I like. Yeah.
Then it starts freezing up again in October. So it's a limited season, and you talk about strong, healthy, big fish.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that's cold water fish.
Cold water fish.
I mean, because, I know it's fishing time up there because they've already started the Canadian football leagues on TV. So I know those guys are already playing. The CFL's already going on, so you know it and everything. Hey, Dan, thank you for being with us. This is fun.
Larry,
so now you get to see how we act in here.
And again, thank to my sponsor, Ron Wong and Lou's Rod and Reels.
That'll work you a lot and everything. Thank you, Dan. All right. All right. Dan Barron, and we're going to talk some more fishing as we go along in the show this morning. It's going to be fun. Going to talk about that state record rainbow trout caught in a pond.
Okay, yeah, I think that.
We're going to get into that. How can the state record rainbow trout be caught in a pond?
Fall from the sky.
It had to fall from the sky. We're going to talk a whole lot. All right, let's take a break. Greg Ratcliffe either tell us we're number one or he's to get out of here or something. But this is Larry Ray. We got Guy Trebo. We got, what's your name again? Dave Gabbard in here with us. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
You can find out